Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Emma from Risky Business, and I'm joined by two amazing people. I think they're amazing, Dave O and Dave Donohue. And we're going to talk today about the Masters of Strategic Leadership in Risk and Emergency Management. So we'll start at the beginning. So what is the new Masters of Strategic Leadership in Risk and Emergency Management courses, and what makes them so timely?
I think it's about the three courses, the grad cert, grad diploma, and the masters. It's a combination of the academic content and lived experience. And that's
Mhm.
where I think there is a definite audience out there because we can't, Dave and I got together and thought about what is important in strategic leadership, and it can't be rooted in 20th century assumptions. That is, threats are no longer stable,
Yes.
no longer linear escalation, and command and control uncertainty as agencies try and work together but are still siloed. So the reality of this program, it's about cascading disasters and how you look at that, climate-driven extremes, cyber and infrastructure interdependence, social trust breakdown, that's a really, really big one, and misinformation during actual crisis and how you handle that as a strategic leader.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great overview. And so when do the courses actually start, and how can people enroll?
They kick off in February.
Mhm.
T1 trimester one kicks off in February, and enrolment's very, very easy. Just get onto the University of New England's website, click on the master's program, and it'll take you to the diploma, grad cert, and the master's. Very
Okay.
easy.
So it's February now, so there's still time for people to jump on and enroll. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's what they call a carousel model. So, look, if you miss out in February, you can always jump on for trimester two, which starts in June. And they're not a sequential ordered program, so you can jump in, jump out when you can, and you can sort of start your masters at any point.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. And is it only the masters that you're running, or is there different options?
No, no, we're running the grad cert, the grad diploma, and the master's program, and there is a doctoral pathway attached to this program as well.
Yeah. And what's the length of the courses?
It varies from grad cert, grad diploma to the master's. So if you're doing a grad cert, you've got to get a certain number of credit points. But let's talk number of units in the trimester. So for a grad cert, you've got to get two. For a grad diploma, you've got to have four. And for a master's, you've got to do six. Now, then comes in the recognition of prior learning and recognition of prior experience. So effectively, how we've written the course with UNE, you can get a master's in 12 months if you have a pre-existing academic qualifications that meets the standard, plus experience of 5 to 10 years or more in industry.
And what sort of industries will that be?
Well, we're targeting a broad spectrum of industries, and not just emergency services, although they are part of our target audience.
Hmm.
But we're looking at risk professionals now, insurance companies, the like now that have that emergency management capability framework within their organization, such as, train networks, all those types of organizations, but also risk professionals now, and the professional skills required in risk management and key decision making come through to the fore in this program.
Yeah. And risk management's one of those things that goes across all organizations, is it's just interchangeable. So I, I guess it's open to pretty much all industries. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've done it for all leaders in all capabilities. So
Mhm.
we've made sure that it's strategic leadership in risk and emergency management. So it's not just about, oh, I'm not in emergency management, so I can't do it. If you're a strategic leader or you want to be a strategic leader, that's what this program is about. And all of the futurists are picking risk managers and risk experience into the future as one of the top 10 high ranking positions
Mm.
for future development. So here's an opportunity to get into that field.
Yeah. And leadership, again, is something that's cross organizational. And I know both of you quite well, and I know you both got extreme passion for risk management and safety. And I can vouch for both of you are amazing leaders. because I've worked with both of you in different roles. So to have both of you mentoring people in leadership, I think is a really good opportunity for people. So is leadership a big part of the program?
Dave, you want to kick that one off?
Yeah, look, leadership is where it's based. As we go in a changing environment, it's risk, emergency management, and leadership is no longer about documents. It's no longer about checklists and audit completion. That is important that they do that, but it's also about your decision quality, the decisions that you make, your leadership adaptability. That's the biggest one. Is people are worried that if I make a decision and then more information comes to light and I have to change that decision, I'm going to look stupid. In fact, it is a really strong leadership trait because
Yeah.
you will never know all of the information. I guess it's about interagency trust. This is about bringing all the people together from different agencies that you're going to have career long relationships with these people where you've got trusted advisors and people that you wouldn't normally be exposed to through this university. And how do we create a learning culture with you as the individual to take that back to your organisation so that it is all about learning, progressing, changing in a really dynamic environment?
Just to add there too, I think and thank you for those nice kind words. But what we're actually doing is, Dave and I both did our masters in emergency management many years ago, and it was a great course, and the facilitators and instructors were fantastic. However, they weren't practitioners; they were theoretical lecturers. What we bring to the table is practiced leadership, practiced emergency management, and we can discuss leadership in those environments. I don't want to say credibility, but with a level of credibility, whereas a lot of the university courses that are offering summer projects just don't have that that they can bring.
Yeah. And on that, can you just give us both a snapshot? You both got amazing work history, but can you both give us a snapshot of what you have done and what has led you to being so passionate about this?
Oh, look, Dave and I are the masters of disaster, really, when events occur. I had somebody say during my policing career, "Oh, you were lucky enough to have all these events." And I went, "Lucky's not how I would define it." I've done the Black Saturday bushfires and then couple that many years later with the 2019-2020 bushfire inquiry. For ones that most people would know about, Fukushima in Japan, we sent people over there, the New Zealand earthquake
Mhm.
in Christchurch, floods, drought. You name it. If you look at the events that occur across Australia, Dave and I have been involved in most of those events, either initially as responders or now as recovery coordinators. And each is important so that you know the preparation, preparedness, response, and recovery do that cycle. And as a strategic leader, you've got to understand all of them so
Mhm.
that you can start recovering whilst you're still responding. And I think that's, the events will continue. You look at, tropical cyclone in Queensland, fires through Victoria recently, and then Victoria suffers catastrophic flooding at one of their caravan parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, sorry, go, Dave.
No, I was just going to say, as a commander for 13 years, I led a lot
Mm.
of major events, Vivid, etc., especially as a commander in the city. But what I might concentrate now is how I've transposed those skills into the private sector in the last 4.5 years. And that's, the avian influenza. I was the efficiency advocate for that. I've done after action reviews for major floods on the North Coast, and various other things. We're now working out of Bondi, some after action reviews for one of the responding agencies out there. So what I'm really interested in now is how I bring those 30 years of policing, 13 years as a commander into this emergency management framework to then share with, the people that come along and do the course.
Yeah. You both got a lot to offer. And so, how is it set up? Is it online and is it like a mentorship program? Like, how will you actually be assisting people along that journey?
It's 100% online. That's part of
Mhm.
the beauty of this is for busy people, leaders, middle managers, leaders. Anybody has a busy life. If you do your work-life balance, um, Very rarely do we get that right. So it's 100% online. That allows you we do recorded lectures and recorded tutorials. So from time to time, you are going to miss a lecture or tutorial. It's there for you. You can go in your own time. If it's a Sunday morning, you like to sit down and listen to our voices and what goes on and the academic learning of part of that. It's in your time. Dave and I have also done a commitment that we will work with individual students to make sure they get the most out of this learning journey. As Dave said, we both got a couple of masters, and the lecturers we had for that process were fantastic because they engaged with us, and we want to bring people along for this journey where they don't feel uncomfortable picking up the phone and saying, "We made it easy. Hey, Dave." So it's either one, but to say, "Hey, look, I've got a question. Can I run something past you?" A lot of the mentoring we do now is like a sounding board where you don't actually have to do that much mentoring other than, oh, uh-huh, uh-huh. They know the answer. They just want a bit of reassurance. And about connecting, I guess, is the biggest thing. Connecting with like-minded people who are industry. We find people change industries, but don't change professions that much. So we see the same people. It was described to me once, same people in different polo shirts, representing different agencies as they move forward. We provide that opportunity, and that's all part of in their own time and the flexibility of UNE. That's why we sort them out.
Yeah. And Dave, I know you're a very well-connected person. And are you going to bring those connections into the course?
Absolutely. Look, this is industry written, industry based, delivered by industry people who have the academic standards to also deliver it. So we thought we'd be a bit cheeky and we went round to a lot of the commissioners, deputy commissioners, CEOs in business, and we said, we would like you to give an hour of your time once or twice a year, free of charge, to come and lecture to students. You know what? Every one of them jumped at the opportunity. They want to have a legacy that they want to see what they didn't have that opportunity, is how I see it. Very rarely did we 30 years ago, 40 years ago, in my case, I didn't have that opportunity to learn from people with that lived experience. We have a whole list in all of the different areas, people who have been the chief veterinary officer and how biosecurity affects that, anti-money laundering. And people might say, well, what's that got to do with EM? It doesn't, but it's to do with risk and how is risk and strategic leadership through anti-money laundering. And it's a big part of society. I think biosecurity will be, I don't want to use the term boom industry, but I will. I think that will really have an impact across a variety of fields, and we need to be prepared as organisations to train our people so they know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really hoping that the cohort that come along for the journey in the next couple of years and beyond become a close-knit group of people that can pick up the phone and say, look, Dave or Emma or Dave, this is happening. What do you think? Have you been through this before? Can you help me out? You know, just those things. It's probably, I would say, a weakness of a lot of leaders is that want to actually ring and ask for help or ask for a bit of advice. But we're hoping to get past that in this cohort and create a safe environment for people to lean on each other for their expertise.
And I imagine that'll be ongoing as well. I'm sure that's not really just the program, but and again, knowing your personalities, I'm sure you'll always be available for people, and even the people that you are bringing to the course. So the caliber of people like yourselves, there'll be that ongoing support, that networking support, even after the course is completed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the students will be amazed at the access they get to the individuals that they do, how human these people are. And I think they'll also see the trend in they often talk about what was unsuccessful, what let them down, or a decision they made that didn't go the way that it was expected. True leaders need to understand that everything won't go 100% of your way. And it's
Mm.
only by these lived experience of these people who talk very openly and very honestly to this cohort, which will be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about the content. We have sort of touched on it. So what are the core skills and capabilities that students will walk away with that's different to most other courses that are out there?
Dave, do you want to start or
Well,
like to?
the first program, I'm writing is called, I'll get it, Ethics and Professional Practices in Changing Environments. So ethical decision making in emergencies, ethical decision making under pressure, in the political framework that you're operating in, social pressures, government pressures, political pressures. That's my first, and it's been a really interesting journey just to write that program and watch that evolve. And then, as Dave and I speak to, this is contemporary stuff. So we're watching the news, we're watching things evolve as we're writing the program, going, "Oh, I'd like to get that in there, and I'd like to get that in." And look what's happening with First Nation as a prime example. Are the students reading the room? Are students understanding the political framework in which they're making critical decisions in emergency management? So that's one of the topics we're doing. Dave's got the fundamentals in risk and emergency management. Again, just bringing people up to speed with risk and emergency management. Um, Go on, Dave.
I think the contemporary issues is the big one because we've undertaken with the university. We took each year we would change our lectures, so it's not going to be the same lectures each year. We're going to write about contemporary stuff, which Venezuela will be on there. Teach people to look behind the news. Is the biggest thing is as a leader, just don't accept the information source that's coming through. Um, Food bowls as it comes through and the impact that resources will have biosecurity we've mentioned. So the contemporary issues causes us, we say each year, Dave and I have changed trimester one already. We've gone through, we wrote the courses to submit it. We're now rewriting those lectures again because so much has happened
Mm,
over the past 12 months that we want students not to react to stuff 5, 10, 15, 20 years old. Look at the contemporary issues. Look at the world and the dynamics you're moving in. That's what makes this program different. It is completely contemporary. And again, access to other leaders, other middle managers who are struggling with exactly the same questions that everybody will have.
yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously, risk is a key component of the course.
mm, yeah, yeah. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. Keeping it contemporary is what's going to keep people interested and sort of always on the lookout for when things happen. I know myself, when I watch the news, I'm always applying it to our work life, and it always applies. It's risk management is the core basis of everything.
And I
Um,
think that's really important is
Mm.
the changing skills and abilities is across everyday life. Look at
Yeah,
how it impacts. So you make the decisions that you're going to make without hesitation. And
yeah,
that whether it's at work or everyday life, you train yourself in that ability.
yeah. So, for someone unsure of which level to choose, what's the best way to decide where to start?
I guess talk to Dave and myself, pick up a phone or email us. And we've done that to a number of people. I'm not sure this is where I'm at. These are my skills that I have. This is my
Hmm.
prior learning. This is the level I'm at. We'll sit there and talk to you. We'll take the time so we understand where you're at and then we'll give you some guidance. It's also about the uni. The uni's really, really good in skills and abilities for recognition of prior experience and prior learning. Again,
Hmm.
we work with the professor to make sure that the university understands what an AIMS qualification is, what being a commander is, what a risk manager, all of those different levels. Pick up the phone, we're online, and we're happy to chat to you.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you raise the RPL because I imagine that'll be attractive to a lot of people as it would significantly cut some time down. What would be the difference with someone who had RPL in different time wise?
Well,
Well,
as
we
Dave's,
based, gone.
you know, University of New England do offer a very generous RPL program.
Okay.
As Dave said, I think at the top of the chat, if you've got 5 to 10 years managerial experience, from a mid to higher level within your organisation, most people at that level have done some tertiary qualifications along the way and along the journey. They would be eligible for recognition of prior learning. And to go back to your previous question, depending on where you're at in your career, we've got very, very senior people who have indicated that they're going to do the course. obviously a master's is commensurate to where they are in their career, but
Mm.
also for some school leavers or some people early in their careers are thinking of looking at an emergency management or a risk management type role within an organisation. That's where the grad cert would come in, and you just dip your toe in the water if you like, and just see if you like the program. And as I said, it's a carousel model, so you can come in and you can actually build as you go. Do your grad cert first. If you're enjoying it, do your diploma, and then onto your masters. And if you're so inclined, do the doctoral.
Yeah.
And we've also linked it, Dave, with law, with criminology, and with linguistics. And people sort of raise their eyebrows and goes, well, why would a strategic leader be interested in the linguistic? It's about learning about overseas and cultures, and it gives the ability, if you want to work with the UN or be deployed, if you're military, police, fireys, anyone like that, to go overseas and deploy and volunteer, you will actually have the skills and abilities to understand by we've partnered with UNE. They have then partnered with other programs within their I guess, arsenal of academia. So it's great.
Yeah. Okay. And just give us one piece of advice that you'd give someone who's thinking about stepping into strategic leadership.
Pick up the phone, have a
Yeah.
chat. You're not going to lose anything by having a chat or dropping us an email and just say, what do you think? Where am I at? What's my commitment going to be? All those questions that people ask. How much is it going to cost? All those things that people want to know. We can answer them very, very quickly for them.
Yeah.
And all the people I've spoken to, it's don't undersell yourself. A lot come and say, "Oh, I could only do the grad cert," and when we talk and listen to them, we go, you're above that. You know, you can do
Yeah.
the grad diploma. Just back yourself. This is what you're going to do, or you can do the masters.
Yeah.
You know, as Dave said, pick up the phone, have a chat with us. That's the start of your journey.
Yeah. And there is a detailed website you've got as well that we'll send out with this podcast as well. In the website, is there contact details if people maybe don't want to ring or don't have time to ring, if they want to drop you an email?
Absolutely. They can go direct to Risky Business or our online. They can go to the UNE website. UNE has most of your, frequently asked questions. How much is it going to cost me? What is each trimester? Any of the questions you want to know. It's the other things of, I'm not sure whether I can do the academic study or how I'll do the assignment things. Ring us for that or send us an email and we can step you through it. It's actually not that difficult because we do work-based projects,
Yeah.
and that's the most important thing. So you're actually in an area where you feel comfortable. We just stretch you out of that comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. And application, is that through the website as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Well, thank you for your time, both of you. It's a very exciting project that you've come up with. I'm sure it'll go well. And if anybody's interested, just jump on the website and contact Dave or Dave, whichever one you choose. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Emma.
Bye.
Bye.